Modern Warfare 3 Zombies Season 3, all of the content that is rumoured to be coming. So as you know, Season 3 is rumoured to release in just a couple weeks time on the 3rd of April. However, it is rumoured right now that like Season 2, Season 3's Reloaded update is going to be when all of the Zombies content is going to come. So we might have literally nothing at release once again, but I feel like because they've received so much backlash for that schedule planning with Season 2, they're probably not going to do that exactly again. I think probably the majority of the content will be Season 3 Reloaded, just like last time, but they may sprinkle in a little bit of extra things at the start of the season to try and avoid backlash. For example, we had an exfil streak added with the Season 2 Reloaded update that came as a complete shock, a complete surprise. It wasn't even on the roadmap, but that should have really come at the start of the season. So at least there was something there at the start, and maybe, for example, there is rumored to be a wallet/bank system coming to the game, and I think if there isn't really much planned at the start of Season 3, it would make sense for that to be at the start instead of Reloaded, and maybe a couple of other extra things. But all of this is rumors, so we don't know exactly the schedule right now. We know of a lot of the content coming, but it's just from the files of the game, which is of course subject to change and or misinterpretation, and can be cancelled or come later on. So it's always worth taking that into account. And likewise, the rumor that everything's coming in the Reloaded update is just coming from the files of the game, and they can definitely change their scheduling. But it really seems like the future Modern Warfare 3 Zombies updates are going to be pretty much following the same format as Season 1 and 2, where there's going to be a new act, a new rift, a new cutscene, and a new Elder Sigil, a new Warlord, and some new schematics. It seems like that's the majority of what we're getting every season. Now, Magua has provided a very nice summary of all of the stuff coming over on Twitter, which is a summary of data mines coming from various people such as Alix, COD Warfare Forum, Alan III, Semtex, Leaks, etc. And I'm going to run through it right now. So, like I said, it seems like we're getting a new Warlord every single season, and it seems like the next one that's going to be coming is going to be Rainmaker, who uses various different artillery. Now, it's rumored this could be the final Warlord, because I'll come onto this in a second. Of course, there are more Warlords that have been found in the files of the game, but people are speculating they may be cut now and swapped out for schematics instead, which I'll come on to, like I said. Now, the interesting thing about this Rainmaker Warlord, since they are going to be using artillery, is that within the Shannon Manor, there are various different traps that look like they should be utilized for something. So there's a big possibility this is going to be where Rainmaker will spawn in, and basically they've pretty much had all of this content planned out before the game released, and now it's just being drip fed to us. So most likely they already had all of the locations for these Warlords planned out and the items that correspond with their locations. Now, like I just mentioned regarding future Warlords, there are actually going to be some new schematics coming, but these are very different to the prior schematics that we have received. These are from the files of the game. We think they are Season 3, but once again, it could come later on. But basically, these schematics are going to be very different because they're actually going to be items from different Warlords, wearable pieces of clothing. For example, we have Legacy's Beret, Kerry's mask, Rainmaker's vest, Dockerby's mod, and I'm guessing each of these different pieces of clothing are going to give different abilities within the game that correspond with their Warlords. So these are the different items. So for the Chemist, you will get a more powerful gas mask. Maybe this is going to be one that can't break as well. For the Rainmaker, you'll get a vest, some sort of protection vest 1. They believe due to weapon of choice being artillery strike, so this will just give you more armor, it seems. And for Maestro, there's going to be some sort of modification that we don't know exactly what it is yet. And I think this is an interesting way to implement these different abilities. I guess it's somewhat similar to the different masks that we had in Black Ops 3, for example. Especially on Revelations, there were so many that gave different effects. Now, the interesting thing is like I said, there is a new Dark Ether Rift that's going to be coming in this, and once again, there's going to be different Rift objectives, items you collect to re-enter the Dark Ether. Now, the new Dark Ether location is going to be set in Zarqwa Hydroelectric, as it seems like all of the different Dark Ether sections are just reused sections from the Warzone map Al Mazrah, like the previous ones, but this time that's going to be where it's set. It seems like there's going to be 4 contracts that you're going to be able to do possibly within this Dark Ether section, which are Outlast, Bounty, Escort, and Weapon Stash. Now, of course, there's been different fetch quests with all of the previous Dark Ethers to re-enter the Dark Ether, as well as go in the Elder Sigil version, and likewise, it's going to be the same this time, and there's going to be different relics related to Ava that award you with different powerful abilities, boosters. So, for example, one will have increased speed, like Stamina Up, one will have increased damage against the zombies, and one will also have some sort of vision effect. Now, of course, all 3 of these are likewise already perks perks in the game. So are these going to be essentially perma perks when you place them on the podiums? Are these going to be permanent things you have in all future games, or will you only get them temporarily when you actually place them in that one game? Also, how are these going to work when matched up with perks? Because, for example, if you can run even faster, but you also have stamina up, are you just going to run super fast? If so, that's going to be crazy. Again, we don't know exactly how these are going to work, but these could also be tied to the different outfits that you're able to wear from the Warlord schematics. For example, maybe these effects are what you get with each of these new schematics. Maybe they're one and the same. Maybe there's a temporary version you can get with these Rift objectives, but then there's also something you can bring into future games with a schematic version. That's just a guess, though. I'm just speculating here. Before I go over all of the other content that's rumored to be coming in Season 3 Reloaded for zombies, I first have a very awesome message to share with you, and we'll be right back. Introducing the Yogue's PlayStation 5 stand and cooling station, the ultimate accessory for PS5 owners. This isn't sponsored, but the kind folks at Yogue sent me one of their products to try out for myself. Let's dive into the details and discover why this stand is a must-have addition to your gaming setup. Measuring around 12x10x2 inches and weighing just 2.12 pounds, the Yogue's PS5 stand is designed with convenience and functionality in mind. Its sleek design adds a modern touch to any tabletop, while its premium materials ensure comfort and durability. The standout feature of this stand is its real-time temperature detection system, which keeps your PS5 cool during even the most intense gaming sessions. As you know, if you've been playing PlayStation for a while, both the PS4 and PS5 get extremely hot and often heat up your room as well even, and you can just hear the fan going crazy. So this is such an important thing to keep your console cool, which will not only improve the system performance, but it'll improve the longevity of the console, making it less likely to break in the future and improve its lifespan. Additionally, the dual fast charging port allows you to charge two PS5 controllers simultaneously with a full charge achieved in just 2 hours. Excellent. Safety is a top priority with this PS5 stand, as it includes overcharging, overvoltage, and short circuit protection functions to keep your devices safe at all times. But that's not all. The stand also features colourful RGB ambient lighting, adding a cool aesthetic to your gaming setup. The different coloured lights indicate the progress of the charging process, making it easy to see when your controllers are ready to go. Customers have praised the stand for its functionality and performance. The longer length of the cord provides flexibility in positioning, and the installation process is simple and hassle-free. Overall, this stand and cooling station offers great value for money. Not only does it serve as a charging station, but it also helps keep your PS5 cool during those intense gaming sessions. With its sleek design and added features like the RGB light, this accessory is a worthwhile investment for any PS5 owner. Elevate your gaming experience today with this cooling stand. If you wish to get one, there is a link in this video's description, and I have an exclusive 10% discount code which you can see on screen to take advantage of, so make sure to apply that at checkout. Now, of course, there's going to be a new story act, like I mentioned before, that's going to come with this new Dark Ether section, and of course, in the first one you defeat the Dark Ether Worm, in the second one you defeat the EMP Mimic and Mangler, but apparently in Season 3 there's going to be a different one called the Champion, which might be a Disciple. Maybe it's just going to be an EMP version of the Disciple again, but there's going to be another boss you'll have to defeat. And in regards to the new quest, the new items, it's all going to be revolving Dr. Ava Jansen once again. The stuff regarding investigating relics, shattering crystals, assisting Jansen, defeating this champion. You will actually see Jansen float, so it seems like we're going to see a Dark Ether version of her. I've already made a video that it's very likely that Dr. Ava Jansen is in fact one and the same with the Entity. The Entity is a Dark Ether version of her, a reflection of herself, and she's not actually Samantha Maxis like we previously thought. Of course, Ava Jansen has Dark Ether powers, so maybe she's going to go in the Dark Ether in this mission and become one and the same with the Entity. Maybe they're going to merge together, and we're going to be cleansing these relics, which are going to give us these powers, which I mentioned previously. But yeah, I really do wonder what the vision effect of this new Rift item is going to be, especially when we already have Death Perception in the game, which makes me think maybe it's going to give some sort of UAV effects. I don't know, that just seems very speculative. I don't really exactly know what this is going to do. Now, for Season 3's Rift items, which are going to be to re-enter the Dark Ether, again, it seems like these are all going to be relating to Ava Jansen. There's going to be a crayon drawing, a giraffe toy, a laptop, and a science journal. There's potential further ones in the future as well that are going to be coming for the future seasons. Now, of course, Zarqwa Hydroelectric is going to be the next Dark Ether section, but it does seem like more sections such as Rohan Oil, Al Safwa are also going to be future Dark Ether sections. We've already had Al Baghdra, for example. Now, on screen you can see a summary of all of the Season 3 content that's for multiplayer and stuff like that as well, so you can can also see the weapons and operators that are rumored. I'm just kind of focusing on the zombie stuff in this video. So that's basically all of the stuff in Season 3 Reloaded, or some of it might come earlier, like I said, but there is more content coming that we don't know whether it's in Season 3 Reloaded or further down the line, which I'll go on to. Now, I do want to say, because I said at the start that a wallet or a bank system might be coming, currently right now the biggest thing people want is a stash increase, and Trek of course said with Season 2 that there's no plans, but they're looking into it, and so far they've not said anything about Season 3, so we might not be getting a stash increase at all, even though it's paramount to improving the mode. It really seems like Modern Warfare 3 Zombies not just is receiving poor updates and little content, but also these major quality of life improvements are not being adjusted, unfortunately, and a stash increase I honestly think needs to be 30 plus. I also think the stash needs to be changed so that there's different tiers of the stash. For example, perks and stuff like that should have its own tier where you can bring maybe 10 different ones within that category, and then there's another category for rarer or better schematics, instead of everything having equal value. Anyways, for future stuff coming, as you know, it doesn't seem like Fortune's Keep is going to be coming as a new map. In fact, it seems like we're probably getting no new maps for Modern Warfare 3 Zombies. Whether they were planned at some point and are just cancelled, it doesn't seem like they're coming. Of course, there were layoffs and stuff like that, which has probably impacted the mode, and Trek are apparently hard at work on COD 2024 Zombies, and that's taken priority. It really sucks that this mode is not given its maximum potential. And in terms of Rebirth Island, there are references in the files to DMZ, which is probably referring to Modern Warfare 3 Zombies, unless Rebirth was planned at some point to come to DMZ, but it's probably never coming now. Now, Rebirth Island is going to be returning in Warzone in Season 3, but there's no word on if it's coming to Zombies. Of course, Fortune's Keep literally has Zombies over in Warzone, and yet it didn't get a Zombies variant. So we're unsure if this DMZ coding is just referencing past content that's been scrapped. Honestly, that's what I'm leaning towards. I don't think they're going to introduce a new map, unfortunately. Now let's go over all the content that's rumored. The big thing is that it seems likely we may be getting a PvP VE mode at some point, which is apparently rumored to be a completely separate mode, and it's going to include most of what Modern Warfare Zombies occupy, such as Warlords, Mercenaries, and Aetherness, and it allows you to enter the Dark Aether. However, this could also just be something that's now been scrapped. This rumored mode has constantly been getting updated in the files, which seems to suggest the developers are still working on it. I don't know why though, no one's really asking for this. Most Zombies fans don't want to fight other players, they just want to focus on killing zombies, but I know lots of DMZ fans want this, but they can just play DMZ if they want this. There was a glitch a while ago where people were able to fight enemies. Trek quickly patched this, and I don't know if that was suggesting that this would be coming in the future or it was being worked on, but I just want to say I'm not really that confident this mode is going to be coming, and if it is going to be coming, maybe Season 4, but by that point the mode's already kind of dead. I mean, it's already dead now because they've been receiving such poor updates, and I feel like they should really be focusing on quality of life improvements for Modern Warfare Zombies, such as a stash increase, as opposed to something like a PvPvE mode, which is probably not going to bring many players back. If unfortunately they don't have enough developers to have substantial updates, then quality of life is really the way to go. Focus on the things that are going to improve the mode and the replay value and the quality of life, as opposed to an alternative version of the mode, which is probably just going to be annoying anyways. Now, there's rumored to be a lot of other stuff coming, and again, this is possibly all scrapped stuff, because so far we've gotten no new contracts, activities, or side quests added to the mode in the first 2 seasons, so I don't know why they would add them in the future, and they haven't added any yet. This is stuff that may unfortunately just be scrapped. So we have Relic Hunt, which is about finding items using ether counters. We have Helicopter Convoy, which is just like the regular convoy, but with helicopters. Of course, we have Helicopter Cargo. A helicopter may have cargo that drops it when you shoot it down. It's exactly like the side objective in Outbreak. We have Hostage, likely similar to the Hostage contract in DMZ. We have Unnamed Defend, similar to Defend Ground Station, except with zombies. We have Race. Maybe this is something for the PvP modes, racing against other players, or maybe you just have to get to a certain point within a certain amount of time. We have Soul Lock, likely similar to Outbreak's Golden Chest activity, and we have Cargo Delivery Boat, which again, self-explanatory. And there's other potential stuff found in the files, which is a helicopter could be coming at some point. We have armor crates. There's of course 2 new acts coming in the future, leading to a total of 6. 6, so maybe the last one we get is going to be in Season 4. That could be the last substantial update. So maybe the last 2 seasons are just going to be these other contracts, and maybe that's when they'll introduce this PvP mode if there's no new acts in the final 2 ones. There's also a different alternate ammo type called Shadow Vortex that's been found since before the game even released, but this is possibly cut because there's been no word on it. And of course, with Season 2, YouTubers said that Trek told them no new perks or enemy types are coming to Modern Warfare Zombies in the future. Now, technically, we didn't get new enemy types with Season 2 Reloaded's update, but we did get, of course, the EMP variants. So I guess there's still a possibility of returning enemies, but just changed a bit. And I guess the same could be said for perks. Technically, they could still bring back old perks. For example, there's literally an icon for Mule Kick in the files, and it's still not released. And technically, maybe they were just referencing new perks. Mule Kick could still come down the line, but again, if Mule Kick was going to be coming, I would have thought it would have released already, so probably it's not coming. So yeah, it's unfortunate what's happened to Modern Warfare Zombies, but that's pretty much all of the rumored content coming in the future. Let me know in the comments, what do you think of all of this? Like I said, very disappointing. Basically, each new season, new act, new cutscene, which is the most important part, the storyline stuff, which I've been breaking down on the channel and how it relates to COD 2024. Other than that, though, there's going to be a new Rift with every season, new schematics, a new Warlord, and that's about it. Rumored to be a PvP mode, and the other stuff is probably all just scrap stuff. I mean, even some of that stuff I just mentioned, it might be scrapped as well. I'll let you know when there's any official announcements. We might hear something next week, for example, but to be honest, with the last couple updates, they didn't really say anything right up until release because there wasn't really much planned, so we might see similar here. Hopefully there are some surprises though. I'm mainly just focusing on the storyline stuff and holding out my hope for COD 2024 Zombies. Anyways, thank you for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe if you're not already for latest and greatest Call of Duty news and information. So anyways, thank you for watching, and bye.